All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Dax's new album, Pain Paints Paintings. Anybody that knows my relationship with Dax's music, I was a pretty big fan when he did his Rap God, I think, one take video. That's where I started it out with. But as time went on, not just with him, but with other people and other artists, I'm not really been a huge fan of YouTube remixes. The main criticisms that I've had of Dax are that I think that his videos and his marketing like that he does for himself is kind of corny at times. He had the whole I'm becoming a policeman for like a month. Then he had Daxnos randomly, and then he had Joker, and just like all of his creative ideas when it comes to the creative directing of the music. Outside of the music, it falls flat for me. And then inside of the music, I am not a fan of remixes. I'm not a fan of, the new Slim Shady or any of those type of videos that he puts out. I want him to like his original music. I want to hear what Dax sounds like when he's not trying to get views. So this album right here, when it came out, I was like, I couldn't not do it because I've been literally saying be original the whole time. Then when he comes out with a 16-track original album and then I don't listen to it, you know what I'm saying? So that's where we're at here. We're at Suffocating. Let's see what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you what I need from Dax first off in order to understand if I like the album or not. I need less aggression, like less yelling at me all the time. Introspectiveness. I need to see vulnerability. Just everything that makes a good artist a good artist.
At first I couldn't breathe, now I'm suffocating. The devil's on my team acting foul and it's all flagrant.
See, this is nice. Dax's pen has always been nice. I used to say thank you to God, or what did he say? And then now the devil's on my team playing foul, like flagrant foul.
Sin is the currency and every day I'm making payments. I don't want to live in it, but I heard a saying good knows evil because the houses are both adjacent. I don't know if
good knows evil because the houses are both adjacent. Hey, neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Bro, Dax's pen is nice. It's nice. Sin is the currency and every day I'm making payments. I can't knock that.
I've seen people gain the world but lose their souls. It's having millions who love you but can leave you or say that they hate you at the moment they don't fuck with a song. I used to laugh it off.
Just talking about the pressures, bro. He's suffocating under these pressures. This is nice, Dax. Hey, this is Dax. It's Dax. This is nice, bro. This is the vulnerability that I needed right here. Literally suffocating from the pressure of the rise to fame. People fucking with you, and then you make a song, and then all of a sudden they're like, I don't fuck with you no more. Just all it takes is one song, one separate opinion that's different than the rest.
Pour my empty heart into a song that they won't praise. They say patience is the key, but they didn't tell me. While I wait, I'd be locked inside a steel cage. Something's wrong.
Patience is the key, but they didn't tell me while I wait with the patience, it's going to have me locked inside a steel cage. This is solid, bro. I got nothing to say about this track.
I feel claustrophobic. I'm stuck living in the past and not the moment. I take sips of love and every single time it's poison. I see women who can't see past my employment or see me as an...
Oh man, women can't see past my employment. Is he talking about being a janitor? Just kidding. He's doing a good job of making me feel his seclusion, making me feel like he actually feels these emotions deep down.
Enjoyment, so I can't enjoy it because the ride's temporary and they leave once they crash and destroy it. I don't an ATM, a therapist, and everybody's friendly and they hide their real intentions, but my mind won't let me.
He said, I'm a counselor, I'm a therapist, and an ATM. That's all that these people see me as. And they're going to leave me the moment that they don't get what they want out of me. Why didn't y'all tell me it was going to be like this?
I make a sad song, don't ask me if I'm happy. Fuck a hook, my pain isn't catchy. That's why I stay awake and answer DMs by the hundreds, so I don't lose myself and fill my stomach with the feeling that I'm here just to suffocate for nothing. If you know real pain and ask myself if I should even share these feelings, then I hear a voice in the distance from a ghost-like image say my pain could be somebody's healing. So I close my eyes.
I don't even know if I should be putting this on the tracks and exposing myself and my vulnerabilities for you to tear apart, but there's something in the back of my mind that says do it for that one person that might find a release from their burdens because they know that you're going through the same thing. This is good, bro. All right, guys, track number 1 down from Dax's new album. How are we feeling about it? What's the vibe that you're getting? 1 to 10. How are we feeling about it? For me, that is a solid opening track to the album. That was a nice track for me. That's like an 8. I like the instrumental. I like the tempo of the instrumental. I like what he's saying on the track. I like how it started off really introspective and slow. And then the delivery got angry and angrier, but he's not angry at us. He's just angry about the amount of pressure that is put on when you reach a level that he got to, you know, and he is highly criticized by me and others, a lot others, but yet he still has to put his heart on every track. I like that one. That's a 9 AS. That's an 8.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 8 for the opener. I'll give it a 6. Just not a huge Dax fan. That's fine, Jeff. You don't have to be a huge Dax fan, because I'm not really either. But we're seeing if this is gonna change my mind. Track number 2.
Yeah, straight from the depths of hell. The devil's calling, he might win a couple battles, but I promise he will not prevail. These words are what I used to post bail. My people trapped inside these chains, they got us thinking in these jail cells. So keep it quiet.
That's nice. I'm not gonna lie though, the ad lib kind of fucked up. Not the ad lib, but the producer tag kind of fucked up the flow right there.
These words are what I used to post bail. My people trapped inside these chains, they got us thinking in these jail cells. So keep it quiet.
Oh, he said the words have got us out of the chains, like got my people, got black people out of slavery, but they got us thinking in the jail cell. Like they found another way to enslave us, basically.
My people trapped inside these chains, they got us thinking in these jail cells. So keep it quiet when I'm spitting real. The way we look to God, then I kneel. Yeah, the devil's calling, he's been looking for the weak, but I promise we won't sign and seal. Yeah, this is
solid too. I like the flow. I like the way he's writing the beat. There's really nothing too much to talk about lyric wise here. He's just saying like my demons and the devil's not going to get the best of me. I do actually feel like he might be pretty religious. And then it's obviously like the songs that have like that religious, like Dear God. The music videos for that track is corny. But the lyrics, I actually believe that he is what he says.
This is not a game. The devil's calling on my people. Stay inside and please be quiet when he screams your name. Been through it, felt pain. Been down, felt rage. Bounced back, seen God, bowed down, got saved.
The melody of the little dun, 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 in the background, that's nice. And then the choir, like when it comes in.
Fuck fame, fuck greed. All the material things, the devil's in sheep's clothing. He gives what you don't need.
Hey.
Keep your eyes, his speed's 5G. Everywhere and scrolling on your phone screen. Tapped in, force feed, front.
That bar was weak. His speed is 5G. Come on, Dax. I get what you're saying, and then you're like tying it into like the wordplay and the concept of like phone and everybody's on their phones all the time. Not great though.
Tapped in, force feed, front row, nosebleeds. Old friends, home team, come home, don't leave. I used to think that I was all alone until I felt them breathing down my neck while I was sleeping right inside my home.
Oh, yeah. The story. I mean, what he's saying is nice. And then I like the fact that the production on this part, so that way he emphasizes the lyrics. It literally, the production like mutes, like it just sounds, and you only hear like the little melody. It's not as prominent. It's in the background, and then it's probably gonna come back in once he gets done with this part.
That's when I called God, and then I shouted out amen, and I could put that on the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and the Ghost. Walking on this path, I could do it with the blindfold. Devil tried to blame me for my faith like a console. Hell.
That's hard. Walking on this path, I could do it with a blindfold, and he can do it with a blindfold because Jesus is the one leading the way.
Stay down, 10 toes, hands up, case closed. They know to stand strong, straight from the depths of hell. The devil's calling, he might win a couple battles, but I promise he will not prevail. These words
I like that right there. I like that little like step down in the melody in the background, like I'm not ad libs, but the background vocals. I'm assuming it's him with auto-tune, but I can't say for sure.
What I used to post bail. My people trapped inside these chains, they got us thinking in the yeah, the devil's calling, he's been looking for the weak, but I promise we won't sign and seal.
Yeah, buddy. All right, guys, that's track number 2. I'm gonna be honest. So far, 2 for 2. I would listen and download these. This is solid. And what's crazy about it, and what I like about it actually, is the fact that it's religious based. You know, because it's talking about him and his debates and his fights and strength with religion, either by his side or fighting against him. But it doesn't remind me of a Christian rapper. I feel like he's just a rapper who stands by his faith. And if he is considered a Christian rapper because of his lyrics, it is most definitely unique in the fact that he cusses, and he has a very aggressive and traditional hip hop style, and is very angry, and you can hear the confidence, you can hear the aggression. The cussing is really what people are going to say is not Christian. You know, he can say whatever he wants. I don't mind this at all. 1 to 10, everybody, how we feeling? Sploo, we're giving it a 7, 5 for you. Gimme 8.5. Jason It's definitely better than the YouTube singles. Exactly, Oiba. That's what I'm talking about, bro. For the most part, I feel like we're gonna average right around 7. Because some people are saying a little bit lower, some people are saying 8s. I would probably give that a 7 as well. But yeah, there's a lot of religious themes throughout the entire music here, throughout the entire album. First, we had Suffocating, Devil's Calling, then 40 Days, 40 Nights, then Battle with Faith, Eternity, Does God Cry. The lyrics for me were good. It was just something about the production that wasn't clicking for me on the second track. Frank, I wish that the 808 was a little heavier there, or the bass or the lows of the instrumentation was a little heavier, but that's it. All right, we'll go in order. We'll do 40 Days, 40 Nights next. Oh yeah, we're definitely skipping Propaganda for sure. And you know what gets me even more mad about Propaganda now is that the other features, and I'm sure the other songs, are going to be so much better than Propaganda is. But yet the Propaganda was the lead single track because of Tom McDonald, you know?
I've been fasting, I ain't eating. They sleep on me, so fuck it, I ain't sleeping. Had to leave that life they got left while I got right. Searching for the meaning, 40 days and for 40 nights. Fuck it.
I had to leave the life that I left to get right. Left, right. Searching for the meaning, 40 days and 40 nights. All right, Jeff Weed, Jack and Polo G style. I feel like these instrumentals would be Polo G style, but Polo G doesn't rap like this though. Polo G's like a melodic type rapper.
Fuck a dot color plumber if you need some pipe. I'm strapped up with a mic bike, handling these bars like that thing on a fucking bike. These niggas.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. There's bars in here. I'm not gonna stop it on every single bar. That's not the point of the video. Unless something like really catches my eye.
These niggas saying amen like they seeing Christ, cause I'm not human, give me space, you got no life.
He said they saying amen, like hey man, what's up? But amen, like I'm Christ, or like they're seeing Christ. And he said like I'm in space, I got no life, like outer space.
If niggas disrespect my name, I ain't saying shit. Karma 360s, I laugh and sing that old bitch. Don't compare me to.
That's nice. When Karma 360s, that's a unique way of saying when it comes back around, it's gonna bite you.
Don't compare me to people doing it for clicks. I am boards, no assists, but still passing on you niggas. So when you playing my game, it's no wonder that you shooting bricks. I approve my own budget, then disperse it to me. Then give a fraction of the profits to the rest of the team. You can deny it.
The basketball wordplay and references right there were nice too. I produce my own budget, then disperse it to me and give a fraction of the profits to like support the team. I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back to me. That's the win-win. So next time you see the homie and his rims spinning, just know my mind is working just like them. The rims, that is.
You can hate it or love it, but I know that you still playing my songs. It's that shit. I've been fasting, I ain't eating. Separate crib for my achievements and some LASIK for these people who would say they couldn't see.
I fuck with this part right here because just the very small amount of auto-tune. He's not necessarily being melodic. He might have like stepped his voice up like a level, but the auto-tune on a non-melodic portion is just enough to be like fire.
They want to sit at my table while I'm eating, but I don't want to make friends unless we fight the same demons.
Oh, I don't want to make friends unless we fight the same demons. This is Nasty C right here. This is melodic rap. If you're talking about Polo G, you're talking about Lil Baby, you're talking about Lil Durk, any of those dudes, Nasty C, from what I could tell, fits right in with that.
I just be talking to this cup, like, can you save me? My life a movie, everybody trying to play me, but I never take defeat because I made it out the pavement. I see snakes in the grass, curving her ass.
Nice, bro.
Bitch, I pass, my diamonds like grass. Under my wax, smoking my gas, yeah.
I've been fasting, I ain't eating.
That feature was nice, bro. That feature was crazy. Fit perfectly on this instrumental. Fit perfectly with the subject matter of the song.
I ain't weak, I don't break, so I'm working through the weekends. People see you shine, first instincts to dim your light. People tried to crucify, destroy me, and I'm inspired by the greats. I'm young enough to know who paved the way, but old enough to see I'm paving the road. So my flow is so fucking dirty, I might have to mop shit, and you ain't fucking with my spirit unless.
Janitor bar?
Self-made pay, let them hate, fuck, I don't care. Skip the escalator, turn left, took the stairs, please. I've been fasting, I ain't eating.
How we feeling right now? The feature fucking killed it, first off. I think I like Dax's first verse more than the second verse, but I did fuck with the hook heavy. It is a long song at 40 minutes because there's 3 verses, and I think there's 3 hooks too, which is a lot. The feature is what made it a 7 for me too. If this was 3 Dax verses with Dax's voice on three hooks, that would have been a lot. So far, so good, yo. We're saying 7s, we're saying 8s, 7.5, 6s, 6.5, easy 9 swar. All right. The feature saved it. The feature carry, not gonna lie, but still decent song. Overall, the song is solid. So that's why I'm giving it a 7. 6.5, 8 on that one. Let's keep going. I'm kind of excited here.
Trust gets you killed, love gets you hurt, being real gets you hated, so tell me what it's worth. I done seen these people change and try to twist up.
Got a little Moray vibe right here going on.
If they wanna know my pain, then they can read it in a verse. If they playing on my perfect, but I'm working, gotta swear that I'm still searching for a reason.
This is nice. I fuck with this song right here.
Underwater, don't nobody hear me screaming. I'm surrounded by these money hungry demons. The stage vision is clouded, man, I feel like I'm walking on mountains.
You don't like this sound right here, Parallels? I like this one. I like this one. I like, especially coming off of 40 Days, 40 Nights with like, it's kind of slower. It's a little bit slower pace. It's a little more somber.
Walking on mountains, my heart broke, but yes, it's still pounding. Lost my soul and then went and found.
That was nice. That little 3 hits on the 808.
Mountains, my heart broke, but yes, it's still pounding. Lost my soul and then.
That's hard because he said my heart broke, but it's still pounding, and then it sounds like the pounding of the 808.
Lost my soul and then went and found it. Make these people your idols. Forget about all of the followers. Jesus had 12 disciples. If they tell you it's
Forget about all your followers, because Jesus had 12 disciples himself, and he still ended up being crucified.
tell you it's fake, it's cause they ain't fought for survival. And when they facing the judge, they still put their hand on the Bible. Got my faith like a gun. And
When they face the judge, they still putting their hand on the Bible.
cause I know failure ain't fatal, and that success isn't final. I got love for my enemies. You can
I know failure ain't fatal and success isn't final. Bro, he's going.
cause I know failure ain't fatal, and that success isn't final. It won't break me or shake me, no, I will not show weakness. Is this real life on my and I don't need fame, you can keep it. Trust gets you killed, love gets you hurt. If you walked inside my shoes, you would last a day. I ain't got nothing to lose by having some faith.
Bro, this is fire. I like this. This is probably my favorite song on the album right here.
If they wanna know my pain, then they can read it in a verse. I swear that I'm still searching for a reason.
All right, guys. How are we feeling about that one right there? For me, that's like an 8.5. For those that think that I'm overly critical of Dax when it comes to his YouTube work, when it comes to his remixes, when it comes to me saying like he's corny at times, the only reason that I'm overcritical is because I've always felt that he had this type of artistry within him. And I get it. It's for like the views and the clicks and the marketing, but this is what I wanted to see. Like the album so far is solid for me. It's not that it's anything too inventive, and it's not going to be a 10 in my eyes more than likely, but it's definitely what I expected and what I wanted from Dax the entire time. But I get it. I get why he does what he does in terms of YouTube, because this track wouldn't get anywhere near as many views as the other tracks that he's done, or like Propaganda with Tom McDonald, that kind of thing. It's not the same old Dax. Exactly, Jeff. That's what I'm saying. All right, Battles with Face next. That melodically driven track, the lyrics, the quotables in there. I liked it all.
Struggling, I'm trying to find my way. Fighting, I'm having battles with faith. Yeah, I remember days back as a kid, they was hating, saying I was never gonna beat nothing dope.
All right, I was not expecting this delivery right here.
Yeah, I remember days back as a kid, they was hating, saying I was never gonna beat nothing dope. Mama said I was a special case, and demons talk to those we cannot replace. That the world was a hell and a test of faith, to crown those who would walk through the heavens gates.
Bro, this delivery right here, matching that hi-hat, it's nice, bro. The delivery is like something that I haven't heard from Dax before. I mean, I've heard like the aggressive delivery, but the cadence and like the overall, it's like quick, but it's not your typical triplet scheme. Like it's not your typical quick spit, you know?
Who's stopping them? We ain't never seen a nigga this popping without that garbage that be brainwashing them. So every time I get a chance,
He said we haven't seen a dude this popular who has substance that's not just spitting out that bullshit.
bucks you chase couldn't chip my calm as I digest grapes and I paint my homage. Fuck cheese when I'm spitting this nachos. Niggas didn't believe I was spitting the gospel.
All right, that was not a bar. He said, fuck cheese. What I'm spitting is nachos. Like nacho cheese. Fuck bread. I'm not spitting for cheese. Nacho cheese bars, baby.
Spitting this nachos. Niggas didn't believe I was spitting the gospel. Now they gotta receive. Take a swig of the hot sauce, bro. With a strike out bowl. They won't pick me, no. I was spare or gold. Now the pack they chose. I'ma break them home. Struggling, I'm trying to find my way.
First verse was crazy.
Struggling, I'm trying to find my way. But perfect something that I'll never be. Now I'm a veteran. They didn't know that.
The hi-hat is insane, bro. The hi-hat is crazy. Dax's voice is a little on the higher side, same as Eminem, so they stack it to give it like this little more edge, I guess you could say. I don't mind if he stacked his voice in Searching for a Reason or Suffocating. That would have sounded like shit.
No, they was fuck around with a specimen. Many men tried to get me, but my adrenaline came in so heavy that I was able to take on 10 of them.
That would have been fire if he said many men have tried to take it and then he went on and spit like a 50 Cent bar. That would have been hard.
Every battle was when I made them irrelevant. The screams loud, the cries of men deafening. I told them all I was sorry and that I'm heaven sent, but if I gotta kill them, then fuck it, I'll go to hell again. Now I'm straight driving.
I'm heaven sent, but fuck it. If I gotta kill him, then I'll go to hell again. I don't care. Who gives a fuck? Hard.
The devil's face and said we are adjourned every cell and each and every single nerve in my body jumped as I began to purr. The devil know what he doing, so he trying to stop me. Breaking the chains of mental slaves on the path.
The Bible references are crazy.
Fighting, I'm having battles with faith.
All right, that track, it's different vibe than the rest of the album. That one is probably like a 6.5 for me. Didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed other tracks on the first listen. I do appreciate the creative direction on it, his aggressive delivery, considering he's talking about being at war with his faith and his demons. The hook wasn't as good though for me as Searching for a Reason. But having said that, even though this track is my least favorite so far on the album, this track is better than anything that I've heard on YouTube from Dax. This is still what I want to see from Dax. All right, next up we got Eternity.
How long is eternity? I don't understand. The life that we thought that we lived doesn't matter, approaching the thought that someday we all die. I get confused when I look in the sky. What is this water hitting my eyes? Maybe the rain is the pain and shame that hits earth when God cries. As we get
maybe the rain is pain and shame that hits the earth when God cries.
It's not the things we receive, but the things we give. We try to go back to the time we were kids, but those shoes no longer fit. And then we finally realize that everyone dies, but not everyone lives.
I've always loved that phrase. I've always loved the phrase, everyone dies, but not everyone lives. Or everyone lives, but not everyone's alive. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of like you're living, but you're not alive. You're physically breathing, but you're not living and you're not doing what you could be doing. You're not living up to your potential. You're not doing what the technical right steps are.
My life in the moment and not in a future that's not in my hands. I'm living my life in reality, not for a post that they'll tap when they open the gram. I'm doing whatever it takes.
I'm living my life for reality, not for a post that they tap and then when they open the gram, bro. It's kind of a cliche line, but it hits all the time because have you ever just been scrolling the TL on Instagram and everybody just looks so happy? You've been following this couple, one of your friends maybe, and maybe an acquaintance that's like with their partner, and it's all like happiness, happiness, happiness. And then all of a sudden they fucking are divorced. One day they're happy, the next day they're divorced. It's because they're not actually as happy as they seem on the gram, you know?
Not gonna dwell on my past mistakes. Well, fate favors those who take. Cause if eternity's forever and all this is temporary, why wait?
If eternity's forever and all this is temporary, then why wait? Oh my God, bro. Like, why even wait our life out here? Why not just kill ourselves and go to eternity if it's forever, the way you say that it is? Why would I spend 80 years on Earth if I could just get that out of the way and I got eternity for the rest of my life? You know?
Humanity's lost. We obsess the price of material things, but at what cost?
Oh, I knew that bar was coming. As soon as I heard lost, and he said, we assess the price of the material things, but at what cost? Dax, that's the hardest bar of the album so far. The fucking price of material things. We obsess over these things. Ooh, that motherfucker's got a Rolex. Ooh, that motherfucker's dripped out in V-Loan. Ooh, that motherfucker right there dripped out in Gucci. We obsess over that. But at what price is the cost of doing that? That's a bar, bro.
Then treat time like currency and spend it for applause because we think that life is just a game we can turn on and off.
The bar wasn't even done yet. At what cost? We spend our valuable time just to get people to like us and laugh and smile. That's the cost.
9 to 5 and count the days for 40 years till 65, then live off what our pension pays. We fall in line as mental slaves. Our bodies work, our minds are caged, and that's why people say the richest place you'll find is at the graves full of hopes and dreams.
This song right here, bro, let me go ahead and tell you, this is probably the most introspective track on the album so far, and this is heat right here. He said the most valuable or the most is when we go to our grave. We retire and live off our pension, and what did you accomplish in that? If you want to do a 9-to-5 for 40 years and you love and enjoy your job, go for it. But if that's not what you want to do, that's gonna feel like shit.
All the thoughts inside our heads that we kept stored and locked away. As our age increased and we got old and everything decayed. Time was a commodity that we could not regain. And that we were in control and there was no one else to blame. Is the day that we change. It's a day.
That pause right there between is the day, lets it rest for a 4, and then we change. And when we realize we have no one else to blame it on but ourselves, and that time is a commodity that we can't get back, every second that ticks is a second that you're literally closer to your grave. The moment you're born, the clock is ticking.
Eternity, no way. It's eternity, no way.
What are you doing with your time? What is your definition of happiness? Are you giving more than you're taking? If it were to all end right now, what are you holding on to that you need to let the world see?
If it were to all end right now, what are you holding on the inside that the world needs to see before you die? That's heavy. That's a perfect way to end the track. I thought that maybe his singing was going to detract from the track. I was going to be like, I wish he got a singer for that. It was decent. If he did have a feature on the track, I'm probably going to give that track an 8. If it had a feature who had like a powerful vocal voice, I would probably give it an 8.5. A 9, 7.5, 7. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Dr. Killjoy 8. Yeah, so say 8. But on the hook, who would have been a good feature that would have elevated it to an 8.5 or 9? I'm thinking female voice. Yeah, Dax can't afford Adele. I was thinking Skylar Grey too, Paralyzed, but I hate that Skylar Grey's voice and all she's known for is Eminem features. Halsey would have been fire. All right, we're going to do Does God Cry? And then we're going to skip to Snow the Product and Lecrae. All right, next up, Does God Cry? So far, album so good. Way better than I anticipated it being. I knew that Dax had this in him. I just wanted to see it. And technically, this is his debut album versus the EP that he put out. Which I wasn't really fond of because it didn't really have it didn't have any kind of soul. It didn't have any kind of like aesthetic, or it didn't have any kind of lane that it was trying to fit in. This one definitely does.
I wonder if God cries. Maybe his pain is the rain. Maybe the storm that we face means God is ashamed of the creatures that he made and how lost we became in this world that he gave. I guess when kids having gunfights from sundown to sunlight, we argue abortion and then we argue gun rights. Most votes or the post with the most likes.
This is what Tom McDonald tries to do. He tries it, but doesn't succeed at this level.
Screw conspiracies, I'm not one for the banter, but it's someone close to me, so now it really matters. I used to smile at rainbows, but maybe that's God's frown.
I used to smile in rainbows, but that might be God's frown because the rainbow's upside down, or it comes into the earth like that in the frown shape. That's nice.
And the wind is the push in our back as we walk away from Satan. And maybe the thunder is the sound of God clapping when he's banging Dax music on his playlist.
Ha ha ha. I like this kind of whole like theme that he's staying on. Like all of these things that happen in the mortal world on Earth, the weather changing, the sun, the rain, maybe it all has to do with a God and the devil playing.
I bet God would probably have a mean crossover and find a lane different cultures could exist within the myth that the color of our skin should separate us all instead of bring us closer.
This is nice, bro. This is what Tom McDonald tries to do. It just doesn't land because I feel it's authentic from Dax. This track I feel is authentic from Dax.
Racism, classism, fascism, sexism, people where we all created equal will never be it. I bet he wouldn't sleep. I bet he'd shoot every shot that he had and not pass with the knowledge that the devil's playing on his team. I wonder if God cries. Maybe God gave pain so we'd appreciate the times without, and when we had it, keep faith. Maybe God doesn't give strength but gives tough times, cause that builds strength if you know how a muscle's designed. I hope he knows I try as my time flies by, and that when I hit that sky, we gon' bump this song for eternity as time passes. I wonder if God cries.
We gonna bump this song for eternity as time passed by. He didn't say by. He like he what's it called when he insinuated at it.
Maybe his pain is the rain. Maybe the storm that we face means God is ashamed.
All right, the only gripe that I have with the album, and it's not even really a gripe, it's just a pet peeve of mine. It's completely fine. I just don't normally like it. We've had 3 fade outs in a row, like in terms of the instrumental. Solid ass track. It just sounds believable, yo. It sounds like I believe what he's saying. And that's really the most important thing when it comes to rap. I need to believe what you're saying because that's all that you got. The only thing that you got is your word. And if I don't believe your word, why should I listen to your music? Why would I like your music? That right there is probably like a 7.5 for me. Maybe just shy of an 8, like 7.8. It was good, but it's still not my favorite on the album. I think Battles with Faith Was it Battles with Faith or was it Searching for a Wheat Reason? I think it was Searching for a Reason. All right, we're going to skip straight to Snow the Product and Lecrae because I want to see how they sound here. Lecrae, I can clearly understand how he says, like how he would sound in this album, but Snow the Product, I'm kind of curious. That piano's going crazy.
I kneel, I pray, I stay up way I won't change and I ain't no fake. You ever cross me, better look both ways. I got too much sauce and I like that steak.
I could clearly hear Snow the Product on this beat already. I can hear her flow, her cadence. So it was wordplay for sauce. I got too much sauce, too much swagger for what's at stake. Like steak sauce.
Every statue is at liberty to get declined. I break rules, every branch that I will defy is governed by the thoughts that you heard through a grapevine. Me and Silly switching 6 feet is the distance. Your coffin is buried in the place. I got crowds doing mosh pits.
6 feet is the distance, like 6 feet of separation. Your cough in. It's definitely a change of pace, but also we skipped 3 songs, so I don't know how it's gonna sound in order of the album. This track though, I'm not listening for Dax. I'm listening for Snow the Product. So the beat is good. Dax's delivery is good, and it's a little muddled at times, like the words run together. So on the first listen, it's gonna be a little hard to understand what he's saying, but the energy is there because the energy of the track is there.
I ain't never getting boxed in my 3-step drop. Quarterbacks every option. Nah, and this is not a
I did like that. The sports references. I'm never getting boxed in. The 3-step drop quarterback.
Like Billy, I'm the bad guy. I lash out on the trash till it pass by. Then I go outside and start rapping. I bet everybody watching think a nigga throwing gang signs. I kneel, I pray, I stay up way
I do like the delivery on the hook. Like I like that.
I kneel, I pray, I stay up way I won't change and I ain't no fake. Out your range, I mute you names and I talk big game. If you
Lil Wayne might have spazzed on this hoe too. Akon? Okay, Jeff. Yes, that is a solid reference because that is what it sounds like. Akon on this hook would have been fire as fuck.
Well, it's a big bill, counting little bills, stripper tipping bad bitch. Product and the dealer on a mission for commission. If you ever cross me,
I'm the product and the dealer. I'm on a mission for commissions.
if you ever cross me, don't be calling me. People trying to make themselves feel better with a apology. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Diamonds still on 2 degrees. Got rid of the leeches. All of a sudden, I got jewelry. Cause all of a sudden, I got
Diamonds are on 2 degrees. The ice is frozen.
diamonds still on 2 degrees. Got rid of the leeches. All of a sudden, I got jewelry. Cause I'm hopping out and now the driver holding my umbrella. Cause it's a snowstorm now and I'ma make it rain.
I hop out, the driver holding my umbrella. Hey, how fire of a fucking feature was that back in the day with Rolls Royces? I don't know if they still have them. It's a car you get driven in. So the when the door opened, there was a fucking umbrella in the door that popped out. Hard. Is she the best female rapper right now? I don't know if she's the best female rapper. Snow's song, Snow's delivery, different style of rap than Lil Sims, but Lil Sims is probably the best female rapper in the game.
Mexicans gon' always find a way, even if it ain't a way. How you gonna try and cross me? You gotta bum me, cross him over, back it up, I hit him with a fadeaway.
I kneel, I pray, I stay up way I both ways. I got too much sauce and I like that steak.
This track was fucking fire. Snow the Product killed it. The hook was fire for me. I like the hook. I like the hook every time we listen to it more and more. Dax's verse was good too, but Snow killed it. That's what everybody's on this track for. They want to see Snow kill it. And she did. She definitely showed up. That was probably like an 8.5. That was nice. This album is surprisingly, it's not surprising to me as in like, oh, I didn't know Dax could spit like this. It's surprising to me in the fact that I knew that he could spit like this, but he just never did it. So I was expecting what we got before. This is a nice album so far. There's nothing too creatively like we're going above and beyond. We're testing the waters of a new sound or anything like that. But for a debut album for Dax, this is solid. All right, this is one with Lecrae. So this is the one that I'm hyped for.
Bad things happen to good people. Man, why created evil?
I like the change of pace from A Lot at Stake with Snow the Product to this back to like introspective religious type track. A Lot at Stake sounds like a track that Snow would be on. And this track so far sounds like a track that Lecrae would be on.
Bad things happen to good people. I know it's not fair, but with good comes evil. I know the God that I like me stable.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind the auto-tune so much right there as I thought I was going to. The instrumental is nice, but it's definitely it's safe for the rest of the album. A lot of these instrumentals are safe, but it sounds like other instrumentals on the album. It sounds like the suffocating instrumental. It sounds like I don't know. It just has the same sound as the rest of the album. And normally I want an album to sound cohesive, but I want individual songs to stand out on their own. But the whole album as a whole sounds like an album. Right now, this sounds like the same style of beat every time that we talk about this subject matter.
Nobody's beating for the time. Evil walks among the people, it's not hard to find. The only guarantee is that nobody makes it out alive. Faith in hand
and taxes. Taxes are most definitely guaranteed.
Faith in hand we overlook, cause human nature's bad is good. Teeter-totter on the line of sinner and misunderstood. No one's perfect, we're exposed.
We teeter-totter on the line of sinner and misunderstood. It's nice.
No one's perfect, we're exposed. We try to hide, but God knows that foes are world together all alone. An oxymoron, 7 billion people lost with one home.
An oxymoron, 7 billion people lost with one home. Heaven. This is gonna be an amazing. I can hear Lecrae on this so nicely.
Look to God as I climb these steeples, and He's heads home man, why created evil?
If this is a Christian hit, I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's a Christian album or not. I don't know if Dax is a Christian artist. I think if he is going to go the Christian route, he would fit really well. And I wouldn't want him to get rid of the cussing. If he made a full-on Christian album, I would still want the cursing to be in there, because that's who he is as a person. And it also signifies the fact that he's not perfect. You know, he doesn't have the perfect grammar. He's an imperfect human being. What I was also going to say is that on the second album, his sophomore project, if this one does as well as it should, and he gets the budget for features, some of these songs should have had features on the hook. This song would be elevated so much by just getting a feature on there.
Take
that Akon credit, Jeff, my boy.
Young girls get in traffic. People like the way you innocent while these little kids getting cancer. Even if you never really understand, we can still hit our knees and ask that. Whole world full of evil.
Yo, so that's the thing. That's the difference between Lecrae and Andy for me, generally speaking. Lecrae and Andy, and then I'm going to compare Andy to Dax. Andy is a whole different MC. Dax is a rapper. Andy is an MC. Like, there's a difference between the two. They're not on the same level. They're at two different levels. They might be on the same level in two different genres or forms of rap. Andy is more of a true hip hop artist in my eyes. But what I was going to say is what compares the two, what compares Dax to Andy, at least in my eyes, is that most Christian hip hop artists talk about their faith, not necessarily so much questioning their faith or questioning God or curious. They talk about like the certainty that God is there. But Dax is coming from a curious standpoint, and Andy Mineo comes not from a standpoint of, he doesn't necessarily talk about God a lot in his music or, you know, preach about the Bible too much. He talks about his relationship with God and how it surrounds and molds his life. So it's more about his life than it is about God or the Bible himself. Just like Dax is more about the curiosity and the imperfection of the life rather than Bible verses themselves. And Lecrae is more along the lines of a traditional Christian hip hop artist for me.
We can still hit our knees and ask that. Whole world full of evil. Should be taken out, should be put down. But he's got a hope in the meantime that he mean well and it means something. When the good people die young and the bad happens to the...
When he brings it, we're all going to be saved. It's fire. We're all here. Let's go. Let's do the damn thing. But until then, you just got to have faith that he's going to do the right thing. That's dope.
Got a hope in the meantime that he mean well and it means something. When the good people die young and the bad happens to the good folks, that the kingdom still come. In the Christ where I got to put hope. You ain't got to see it same as I see it, but you got to see it for yourself. If it ain't a God, can it be a good? I don't know it all, trying to help. Yeah.
Bad things happen to...
So you see how Lecrae's verse was like very direct about God, and the entire Andy Mineo album is not direct about God at all. He talks about faith in there, but it's not that direct about, you know, talking to us about it.
Look to God as I climb these steeples, and He's heads home man, why created evil? All I do to God and I climb these steeples, and He's heads home man, why created evil?
How do we feel about that song? That is the most Christian hip hop song on the album, and it's probably going to be because Lecrae is on there. And I do appreciate Lecrae like not coming down, but I appreciate him taking his subject matter and matching like the uncertainty and matching the vibe of Dax's verse. Because Lecrae can write a hype song about God. He can write a song like this about God. Paralyze, you're saying 5, 1 to 10. What's everybody feeling on that one? Aria said cheeks. with an emoji 6.5, 7, Sploo. I'm probably gonna give this one a 6. If Lecrae wasn't on this song, I would have given it a 5. Dax is kind of feeling, at least on this album, what I feel about, or what a lot of people felt about J. Cole up until most recently, that he was doing all his own hooks, which is fine to a certain extent, but there's just so many hooks that were on J. Cole's albums that could have been done so much better by an actual singer, and this one falls victim to that. This would have been way better had there been an actual feature on the hook. But yeah, Lecrae brought it to a 6. If there was a solid feature on the hook, this song might have been like a 7 for me. Yeah, I don't think it would have been any higher than a 7, 7.5. But the hook would have definitely made it better. All right. I'm going to listen to the rest of the album on my own, but I feel that we did get a good understanding of the album. And overall, from the tracks that I've heard, I haven't finished the entire album, but from the tracks I've heard, I would give this album like a 7, 7.3 maybe. Maybe a 7.3. It's not going to get an 8 as an album because of a lot of the production. While it does sound like it is a whole album, I want the production to vary, but still sound like a whole album. So we got like half of it right. But overall, this is way passable. There were things that surprised me, like the fact that it was very God-centered. I would say for a debut album, for someone who is not like crazy in the spotlight, like a debut album of someone like J. Cole when he debuted. Even then, I would probably put this debut album on the level of J. Cole's debut album. It's going to sound weird to say because some people are going to be like, J. Cole's so much better. But you got to remember that, what was his first album? Sideline Story? It didn't do all that great. And there were a lot of misses on that album too. But overall, you could hear the talent that J. Cole had and who he could become. And that's what I feel about Dax right here. The debut album, it's solid. It's going to be a little repetitive it's really just repetitive because of the production, not necessarily the subject matter. They knew to play it safe because they want it to be something that delivers. And I think the reason why I'm giving it so high of a rating is because it delivered, but it's also because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, finally we got the Dax that I knew was always inside the whole time. This is the Dax that I knew was there that I would listen to. And that's why I was so critical of the other Dax music that wasn't this. But yeah, not a bad album whatsoever. Probably like 7.2, 7.3.